I think it's a normal rope with a velvet covering. A metallic quick-release fastener connects the cord to the stands. Come on, I can't see. There's the display case.
Is the jewel still in it?
I can't tell.
Hello?
I hope you don't expect anyone to answer you. The floor of the basement is almost 4 meters below us and covered in rubble. Jumping would be too dangerous. I have to find a way to get down safely. The floor of the... The cord should hold my weight, but it's too short. Give me some light. The clasps aren't really made for heavy weights, but I think they're strong enough. Not the best rope in the world, but it will have to do. I let myself down into the hole with the rope.
You can't be serious.
This isn't a matter for discussion. I'm going down there. You can join me or stay here.
But you don't know what or who is down there.
That's why I want to go down there. Besides, maybe I'll find an escape route for us.
All right then. Should I hold the rope?
Yes, thanks. I'm down. Give me some light, Robert. Shine the light over there, please. Interesting. Documents, maps, letters, all of them at least 20, 30 years old. Shine the light over there, please. A map of Cairo. It's covered with hundreds of small holes, and there are some pins on the floor. There's a date in the corner. 1940. Shine the light on the desk again. I wonder how the Raven knew about the secret basement. He must have done some research and then paid someone for the missing information. I'm going to examine the display case now. As I expected.
Empty?
Yes. The display case didn't survive the fall. The thief just had to pluck the jewel out. Actually, I thought the display case would survive the fall more or less unscathed. And 3 of the 4 windows did survive. There are cracks in the wall and scarf marks on the floor.
A secret door?
And probably the Raven's escape route.
Can you open it?
There are several panels and kind of a handle, but I can't turn or pull or push it. Something's written here, but it's too dark. Hurry down with the light.
No, the Raven is trapped. We should call Legrand.
I need the lamp, right now.
I don't know. It'd be better if we call for backup first.
What would Nicholas Legrand do in this situation? Would he wait for backup and twiddle his thumbs, or would he act?
Oh, blast.
Robert, this is our moment. Time to show them all. When the others arrive, they'll see that we didn't just dare to enter the basement. No, we also found an escape route and opened it. How do you think that will sound on the police report? Constable Oliver and Constable Zellner laid the foundation for the arrest of the Raven with competence and quick thinking.
Okay, here's what we do. I'll hand you the lamp and you open the door. Then we guard the door and wait for backup.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Right. Catch, but hurry. I don't want to think about the fact that I'm standing here in the dark surrounded by mummies.
That's better. That is interesting. 4 discs. An extravagant combination lock. If it was just another language with a Latin alphabet, I might be able to guess the meaning, but I'm lost when it comes to Arabic. I'll write them down. It could be a hint about how to open the door. There we go. What's that?
Hey, don't go too far away.
Come down and stop me. Interesting. Some kind of wooden hatch. There are two hinges on this side. There's a kind of metal hook holding the hatch closed. I'm the talking statue. I really like to teach bad words to the little boys. At least that riddle is solved now. Peepholes. And I suspect, yes. The Raven couldn't have gone this way. We'd have seen him and he couldn't have closed the bolt from outside. I'm positive he escaped through the other secret door.
Why is it suddenly so bright down there?
I found the light switch. Various containers. Maybe they contained funerary objects. The museum still has plenty to offer, despite the senseless destruction in the treasure chamber.
What are you doing here? You were just...
I found another exit.
The eye?
Gone. The Raven blasted a hole in the floor of the treasure chamber. There's a hidden basement beneath it.
And the other treasures?
It doesn't look good.
Oh no.
Director Mokhtar?
Isn't it about time to open the gates?
I don't believe that the police have arrived yet. We can't risk giving the Raven a means of escape.
That monster is surely long gone by now.
Perhaps not. I have a lead.
Do your best. As soon as the police have surrounded the building, I'll open the gates.
Very well, Director. The basement below the treasure chamber. Did you know about it?
I had no idea.
There are maps and drawings from the Second World War in the room. Why?
Well, it may have had something to do with the resistance.
Resistance?
Egypt was occupied by the British. There was a movement for independence.
The Egyptians collaborated with the Nazis?
No, but the enemy of my enemy.
So, the rebels reported information to the Nazis, and for that they needed secret command posts.
Yes, and what would be of more symbolic importance than the Egyptian Museum, witness to 5,000 years of Egyptian independence?
Hidden rooms? Secret basements? What are they doing here?
The museum was built in 1900 by a Frenchman who had a penchant for such things.
Mystical torchlight ceremonies celebrating the builders of old? Freemasons? Things like that?
Many great buildings have complicated histories.
And today we're going to write a new chapter. I found this Arabic writing. What does it mean?
It says, the sons of Horus.
And that means
Is this really the time to discuss history?
it's important.
The sons of Horus played an important part in the burial ritual. 4 sons, 4 canopic jars, vessels in which the liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines of the body were stored.
Are the 4 connected to symbols?
A man, baboon, jackal, and falcon. Look downstairs in the main hall.
Sons of Horus, vessels and intestines. Got it. It's going to be okay. Wait here.
Where is the constable, anyway?
He's guarding the treasure chamber.
He told me to call for backup if he doesn't come back in about 5 minutes, and that I shouldn't trust you.
If you count on the constable, you're backing the wrong horse.
He's Legrand's man.
Did you ever think about the fact that he's the only one who was present at both burglaries?
Oh,
Sarcophagus from the Old Kingdom. Unknown ruler. Here we go. On the front, you can see the tutelary deities Amset and Hapi. At a later date, it became traditional to show all 4 sons of Horus on all 4 sides of the sarcophagus. Each son signified a cardinal direction. Hapi, the north; Amset, the south; Quebec-Senuef, the west; and Duamutef, the east. There are actually 2 of the 4 sons of Horus on the front side of the sarcophagus. A man and a monkey. Must be the canopic jars the director was talking about. 1 jar for each of the 4 sons of Horus. The 4 sons of Horus, Amset, Hapi, Duamutef, and Quebec-Senuef, are children of the god Horus the Elder and the goddess Isis. They are believed to protect canopic jars, which contain the internal organs of people who were mummified in ancient Egypt. As stellar gods, they are associated with the 4 cardinal directions. For that reason, their names were written on the 4 corners of the coffins during the Middle Kingdom period. Each son of Horus is associated with a cardinal direction. From the sign beside the sarcophagus, I know that Hapi is the north, Amset is the south, Quebec-Senuef is the west, and Duamutef is the east. Here we have Duamutef, stomach. The sign says Amset, liver. Hapi, lungs. Quebecsenuef, intestines. Quebecsenuef, intestines. Quebecsenuef, intestines.
Zelna, is that you?
It is I, the Raven.
Did you find an exit?
No, I'm still looking. The basement is quite large.
Okay, don't go too far away.
He's up there, Robert, I know that.
That may be. Go into the guard room and open the gates.
Tell the director.
Zelna, don't do it! It's too dangerous!
You can't stop me. Not anymore. "200 steps at least. And a ladder. I'm too old for this. The chair is the only object that's not covered with dust. It seems like someone sat on it recently. Handcuffs. Not what I expected. Was someone interrogated here? Huh? The Raven, if I'm not mistaken. Why don't you step into the light? Mr. Inch.
Amazing. Truly amazing. I thought young Legrand would be my most dangerous opponent, but it seems I should have had more respect for age.
And the bomb on the train? Did you want to kill us all?
I knew that Legrand would be hot on my heels after the heist in London. He's a dangerous man, Mr. Zellner. He almost caught me once.
Is that a reason to resort to murder?
It wasn't my only reason. An eye for an eye, Constable Zellner.
What about the murder of the Baroness? Was that also your doing?
The death of the Baroness was never part of the plan. Dr. Gebhardt had a score to settle with her and got in my way.
You didn't care about the key to the safe?
I never wanted to steal the eye out of the safe. I always intended to strike here, in the museum.
What about Gebhardt's confession?
A nice idea, don't you think? It keeps the inspector out of my hair, for a few more hours at least, until everything collapses like a house of cards.
Why did you want to steal the second eye here?
The eye was in the bank in Zurich for a long time, impossible to get at. Then the safe on the ship in Legrand's cabin, too complicated. I heard about the secret basement and found out how the security system worked. I would have preferred to save my performance for the gala this evening, but, well, events demanded a change of schedule. Not least because of you, my nosy friend.
How did you do it? How did you plant the message on the safe in the train? How did you know that Gebhardt killed the Baroness? And the demolition charge below the treasure chamber? How did you manage it all? Even if your arm isn't lame.
Oh, it is, believe me. I needed help, it's true. A messenger boy to replace my arms and legs.
A messenger boy?
Ah, Adil. This could be interesting. He's quite talented, but unreliable. He has a mind of his own plans. Don't you, Adil?
I never wanted blood to be shed, but it's time to make an exception.
He only forgot one thing. I keep things firmly in hand. Always. End of story.
I told you not to get off. What if the train had gone without you?
So, you're taking a job as a ship's doctor?
I am excited but nervous too. I'm not exactly a champion swimmer.
If you wind up in the water on board a ship, something's gone terribly wrong.
What was all that in the museum?
That didn't quite go according to plan, did it? And I hate it when things don't go according to plan.
You nearly killed them.
You let them catch you.
It wasn't my fault. Scotland Yard was there.
If I thought it was your fault, you'd already be bobbing in the River Thames with a bullet in your head. Someone tipped them off. I don't know who, but I'm going to find out. Where is the jewel? Ah, marvelous. But it's just half the set, and stealing the second eye will be more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Why are we meeting here and not in Venice like we planned?
London drew more attention than planned. They put Legrand on the case.
Nicholas Legrand?
He's searching the train.
Shouldn't we postpone the plan under these circumstances?
On the contrary, I gave him an anonymous tip.
A tip?
I told him that the train will be robbed.
You don't seriously suggest that we steal the jewel right under Legrand's nose?
Of course, because I'm an idiot. Our best bet is still Cairo. Everything is prepared. Mr. X will provide us with everything we need. As planned, I'll go to Venice together with the Baroness and board the ship there. You'll do the same, but as surreptitiously as possible.
All right.
And under no circumstances can anyone be permitted to discover our relationship. Understood?
And the rest of the plan is as before?
We just have to get on board the ship.
Then I'll get in the car and we'll meet in Venice.
No, Legrand necessitates a change of plan. You'll go by train as well, and place this envelope on the safe as soon as the train halts in the tunnel. I'll cause a blackout so that you can sneak past the guard. You won't believe who's guarding the safe. That blasted Bobby from London. If you have any trouble, cave his skull in.
And Legrand?
You take care of the letter, I'll take care of everything else. The most important thing is that no one recognizes you on the train.
And that I don't get caught. What's the purpose of the letter?
That's not your concern.
I'd just like to know whether I'm risking my life for some game of yours, or whether it's worth it.
Any one of my games would be worth your life. You just do what I tell you. Stick the letter on the door of the safe or leave it on top of it, I don't care. But the letter has to be there as soon as Legrand shows up after the blackout to make sure everything is in order. Understood?
Yes.
What?
Yes, understood. Hasn't the Baroness grown suspicious?
She's wrapped up in a veil of alcohol, arrogance, and disinterest. Only flattery, gossip, and Belgian chocolate can penetrate it.
Ideal conditions.
I'll be glad to be rid of that old hag. She's my ticket to the most important museums in Europe. But these have been the longest 6 months of my life.
How are the injured guards doing?
How the devil should I know?
You didn't need to do that.
What? Save your bacon?
I'd have made it out on my own.
Oh yes, the poor security guard. It really wasn't necessary. I'm such a naughty boy.
I just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Oh please, please, don't be angry with me. I won't do it again.
I don't know. We have the first eye, and we only just escaped.
Tell me you're not suggesting that we should be satisfied with that? One eye alone is nothing more than an expensive bauble, but both eyes together are a legend. My greatest triumph.
Shouldn't I put the eye somewhere for safekeeping? just in case Legrand searches our things.
I'll hide the jewel in the Baroness's luggage. I already know where. Legrand won't dare search her belongings, and even then, he'll never be able to open the secret compartment.
Okay, so we'll see each other in Venice.
And not sooner. Here, take your travel documents. We may not have an opportunity to meet in Venice.
Okay, fine. Huh, that's the first change of plans so far. Whatever. Looks like I'll be going to Venice by train. A ticket for a trip on the MS Lydia from Venice to Cairo, some banknotes, and a passport. Blank. No personal info, no picture. Inch has brilliant contacts in the underworld. He knows the best counterfeiters, technicians, pickpockets, and con men. He remains anonymous, though. Most of them don't even know they're working for him. Mr. X, his contact in Cairo, probably doesn't have a clue who he is. Inch loves the spotlight and has a flair for the dramatic. Why else would he call himself the Raven? I don't like having to risk my own neck as part of his drama. What's the point of leaving messages for his opponent? The crate must have had bananas or something in it. It's empty now. It's built out of thin wooden boards. Probably didn't have to bear much weight. Burglary in British Museum, 1 casualty, 5,000 pounds damage, culprit unknown. Return of the Raven? I'd have escaped anyway, but Inch just couldn't resist playing with dynamite. I hope the security guard recovers soon. There probably isn't a single newspaper between Moscow and Madrid that's not reporting on the burglary. I'm famous. Unfortunately, not for the sort of elegantly executed theft I'd like to be known for. Sometimes you can find useful things in a waste bin, but this one seems to have been emptied recently. A leather bag like the ones used by country doctors. for carrying their equipment. If I swipe the bag, it'd cause confusion while people look for it, and I might be able to sneak onto the train. The only problem is, I can't take the bag with me. They won't let me ride along in the freight car, not even if I ask nicely. This is the saloon car, fully furnished with a bar and all the niceties. The ladies and gentlemen would have a fit if I just waltzed in there wearing these clothes. I can't board the train like this. I'd stick out like a sore thumb, and they'd throw me off without a second thought. If I try to just get on the train, the conductor would probably stop me and might even turn me over to the police. I can't risk that. Even if I was able to distract the conductor and slip onto the train, I'd stick out like a sore thumb with these shabby clothes. I have to find something more suitable. Not a chance. The doctor could easily spot me taking his bag. He'd sound the alarm, and our Swiss friend would have no choice but to arrest me, and then we'd have a real problem. This wooden crate is big enough to completely conceal the bag. It'd be protected from prying eyes, and I could make my exit from the scene of the crime unnoticed. There's still one problem. Someone might see me picking up the bag and putting it into the crate. I could probably pry the bottom boards off without too much effort. They're thin, and the nails are short. Perfect. It looks like a normal crate. It's now or never.
Hey, you! Scram!
Yes, sir. Let the games begin.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Can't you see that I am talking to the constable?
The train is leaving in a few minutes, sir. I have to ask you to board it now.
We should get on. Perhaps we'll be able to continue our conversation during the trip.
I won't stand in the way. Where's my bag?
You left it right there.
I know that. I want to know where it is now.
I don't know. I'll look for it right away. If you gentlemen would get on the train in the meantime...
I will hold you and your employers liable for this.
I'm sure he'll find the bag. Come on, Dr. Gebhardt. I will help you with your luggage.
Fine.
The conductor doesn't really seem to know where to search for the lost bag. Finding a particular piece of luggage at a railway station is like finding a needle in a haystack. You seem to be searching for something. Can I help?
No money to be earned.
That's not what I mean. I just thought, looking for a brown bag.
Did you steal one?
If that were true, I wouldn't be offering to help you. I saw a little blonde boy take the bag. He ran off with it, over there.
Really? Thanks.
Isn't that the bag?
Where?
Nothing personal. No! Oh, man!
Let me have a look.
Damn, I can't let the professor see me. I shadowed him for days in London. He might recognize me.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do. You don't understand. I have to get back to my department. Just wait here.
He doesn't give up easily. My God, I barely look like myself. I'm not as good as the Raven at slipping into other roles. He's had decades to perfect it. Whatever. It'll be good enough for the people on the train. Professor Lucien hasn't slept a single night in the cabin yet. The towel is unused. If I twisted it, then I'd have a sort of rope. The sink, the sink. No, that won't help me now. Professor Lucien seems to travel light. The Baroness's luggage takes up half a freight car. I don't think that the suitcase or the bag contain anything that could help me out. I'd better leave as little evidence as possible. It was the only window that was open in the station, so it was a good way to get onto the train. And now, it might be my only way out. Professor Lucien is at the door, and he won't give up until he opens it. That means I need another way out of here. The window to the right should be the Baroness's cabin, and the one on the left is the saloon car. The roof could be my escape route. That's the Baroness's cabin. Inch is probably with her. I wouldn't mind jumping through the window and giving them both the surprise of a lifetime, but then the Baroness would freak out, and Inch would be forced to report the event to the police. This is the saloon car. The coal car and an old-fashioned steam engine are in front of it. There must be someone in the saloon car. They'd see me if I climbed along the side of the train. If I stand up, my head is level with the roof, but the roof is too slanted and smooth to climb. Those are air ducts or something, but I can't reach them with my hands. There's nothing quite like traveling on a train. The safe that I need to put the envelope on is in the freight car, but I can't just walk in like a delivery man. The safe is guarded by my old friend, the Bobby from London. Even he would be curious to see a conductor in the freight car. Looks like a toolbox. Ugh, it's secured with a heavy padlock. I'm not bad at picking locks, but I don't have my equipment with me, and everything's rocking and moving in here. Given these conditions, it'd take a while to pick the lock. That makes it too risky. No, not what I need. No, not what I need. be able to move about freely in the train, as long as I keep away from Professor Lucien. The other guests don't know me, and conductors change several times during the journey. A new face shouldn't seem suspicious to anyone.
Young man,
Yes, sir?
tell me, when did they switch to self-service on the Orient Express? Should they not have informed the passengers about that in advance?
Forgive me, sir. I was...
And what about my bag? Did your colleague find it?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know.
I expected as much. There will be consequences. And now, bring me my coffee.
Of course, sir. Asshole. Huh. A dish with old people's candy. Butterscotch, I think. Beer, wine, champagne, gin, brandy, and whiskey. The richest snobs take the same medicine as the poorest slobs. Some people would need a drink to steady their nerves, doing what I'm doing, but not me. I want a clear head if I'm gonna get this envelope onto the safe. Pigs get to drink from the finest porcelain. If I mess with the doctor, I might blow my cover, so I'll have to grin and bear it and serve our esteemed passenger his coffee. A small portable radio. The reception is surprisingly good here in the mountains. I won't be able to use the radio, but the antenna, on the other hand, a thin, short metal rod that can be extended. Something like that might come in handy. Locked. Let's see. It fits! Huh. A lot of odds and ends. A hairnet, batteries, a half-pack of cigarettes, an unused toothbrush. The bartender probably has to serve as a jack-of-all-trades, like a concierge in a hotel. So, is there anything useful? Here we go, a small shaving mirror. No, I don't need anything else. There's still some coffee left. Coffee for the gentleman.
Do you know what the problem with people like you is?
You mean our lack of a sense of duty, or our skin color, or a lack of respect for our elders? We have so many flaws. He didn't even want to hear why it took so long to get his coffee. He just wanted to tear into someone, just wanted to assert his will. It's a sad life if you have to pump yourself up by deflating others. The old lady didn't get on in Zurich, and she doesn't look like someone from Nancy or Basel. I'm guessing she boarded in Paris. She seems familiar somehow. I've seen her someplace before. Maybe she used to be an actress, and I recognize her from photos. She has the confidence of someone who doesn't have to prove herself anymore. She's rich, that's for sure, but it's not just that. I better not talk to her. Her eyes are intelligent and observant. Something tells me I'd only make life difficult for myself if I try to pull the wool over her eyes. The younger woman seems to be some kind of carer or companion for the older lady. I wouldn't like to be with her all day long. She radiates a certain restlessness and unease. I know people like that always have to be doing something. They feel useless if they don't have anything to do. I feel sorry for them. I think Professor Lucien is still in the hallway, trying to get into his cabin. I'd better wait until the coast is clear. Ventilation shaft supplies the freight car with fresh air. It also seems big enough to climb through. I'd say I found my way in. The cover has 2 hinges on the back. It's possible to open it, but the 2 screws on the front hold it closed. I can't see anything but the rear of the car through the slots. But that won't do. What I really need is a view of the front. In theory, I could use the mirror to get a look at the front of the car, but my arm is too thick to fit through the grate. Huh, if I have to. That should do it. It sticks. Okay. The candy is so sticky that it'll hold the mirror without any trouble. As I expected, it sticks. The Raven's message for the great idol.
You'll get it back in Venice. Frightening me like that. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past my window.
Be off with you.
Oh, man.
I can use these.
Phew, that was close. He left the lock open. How convenient. Let's see. A wrench, you don't say. This is too easy. I don't think I need anything else from the toolbox, and if I do, I know where to find it. Okay, showtime. They should have been able to open the door with pliers. I think the coast is clear. I assume Inch is also in the compartment. He'll probably find some excuse to sneak out to trigger the blackout. and engage the emergency brakes. No idea how he expects to pull that off. He usually leaves me in the dark about such things. Even after months of partnership, he still doesn't trust me completely. Just a few more days, and I'll finally be rid of that creep. And until then, he has to burn in his own personal hell with the Baroness. A nice thought. Obviously, they managed to open the door. I wonder who or what the archaeologist thinks locked it. Did he connect it to the burglary in London? Probably not. Professor Lucien is on his way to Cairo, just like the Baroness. They both know each other. She chairs the Friends of the British Museum Club. I hope he's too shaken up to leave his cabin until we reach Venice. Huh. Is this a Stradivarius, or something like that? If it is, maybe I should take it with me during the blackout. With any luck, I'm gonna be a happy family man soon, and I'll need a few francs, lira, or marks. Self-control. Side jobs always lead to complications. There are enough unknowns in our plan as it is. No need to add more. We're still in the Swiss Alps. We should reach the Italian border in half an hour. Some maps, info for travelers, some pictures, and the schedule, all neatly hung up with magnets. Won't work. There's a lock at the bottom of the window. Maybe. The big map shows the different routes the Orient Express took in the course of its long history. It's larger than the other notices, and thus hung up with larger magnets. I'll take one with me. Some of the photos are rather nice. Professional work. Climbing over the coal car is the only way to get into the driver's cab while the train is moving. I can't imagine Inch climbing over it to trigger a blackout up front. I bet he paid someone to do his dirty work. Inch almost never takes personal risks, and usually he tries to keep his hands clean. The violinist was already on the train in Zurich. Handsome devil. I'm glad my girlfriend isn't here. She loves to make me jealous, and once I'm raging mad, she leans forward and whispers one of those phrases that only she can say. He seems to be worried about something. So much the better for me. If he's absorbed in his own problems, he won't be paying attention to anyone else, and won't be able to offer good testimony to the police. The safe is guarded by my old friend. Even he would be curious to see it. The safe even... I need to get an overview of what's awaiting me in the freight car, and then I'll take care of the cover. First, the cover has two, but the two screws. And that won't... ticket? Some blank... The elderly woman's carer can't keep her hands still, so she's knitting. Can I bring you ladies anything? Is everything satisfactory?
Everything is wonderful, young man.
Very good. Got it. The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. I could shimmy down the shaft and hit him on the head from behind.
Uh-oh. Are you okay, Robert?
Nothing to report, sir.
At ease.
Any suspicious passengers come aboard in Zurich, sir?
Not really. It could be anyone and no one. But we've received support from the Swiss police. A certain Constable Zelda.
Oh?
Very motivated. Might get on our nerves.
That limits my options. I can't overpower two people. I don't think I'll be able to slip into the carriage unseen after all. Oh, there has to be a way. I have to keep Inch happy. How do I get you onto the safe? Or on top of it? The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. And Inch said something about a blackout and a tunnel. I could use the moments of confusion and darkness to toss the letter onto the safe. Might work, as long as I manage to open the ventilation shaft and choose the right moment.